He's single, and he's available. But your contact lens says no. He pays child support, he's a loser, and he's unemployed. So this could be very useful. And if someone speaks Chinese to you, your contact lens will translate Chinese into Russian or any language you want. So this is now the universe simply by blinking. And this will affect education. It'll affect different aspects of our life. As we said before, when you can blink and see the periodic chart of elements, if you can blink and see all the rules of arithmetic and algebra, then memorization is not necessary anymore. Learning of the future will rely less and less on memorization. Because when you want something, you'll simply blink and see it. So education in the future will not be about memorization. And what about my job? Will I have a job in the future? I'm a professor. In the future, I will know that my students have infinite knowledge right there in their contact lens. So what do I become? I become a mentor. I do career guidance. I grade homework assignments. I talk to these students. I nurture them. That's what professors will be in the future. Professors in the future will not lecture so much anymore, because that you will get by blinking. In the future, professors will give career guidance. They'll become role models, grade homework assignments, mentor young minds. And this is how we will celebrate Christmas. Instead of going to the supermarket and fighting all the other shoppers who want to get toys for Christmas, no. You go to the internet and download the blueprint of the toy, and then print it out on your 3D printer. You'll be able to print out machine parts, toys. These shoes here were printed out at a shoe store. You go to a shoe store and you want shoes, you simply ask for it. It measures your feet by laser beams and prints it out for you as you wait for your shoe. Any design right there on the spot. And now with 3D printers, we can also print out metals. This is a wedding ring. In the future, you may want to design your own wedding ring and then print it out. And as we will see in a minute, we will also print out body parts. Heart tissue can be printed out using a 3D printer. In the future, we may be able to grow human organs of the body with a 3D printer, cell by cell. And if you're an artist, there will be a new art form. You'll think and create the art form with a 3D printer. Already, we scientists can take images, pictures out of the brain, put it in a 3D printer, and print it out for you. So this is the future of art. Art, design, architecture. You'll simply think of the image and have it printed out. And I'll show you how we do this at the University of California at Berkeley. I'll show you how we do this. So we'll have a different kind of society. The universe inside your cell phone, the universe inside your contact lenses. Banking, transactions, record keeping will all be done at the flick of a button. This is your cell phone of the future. Today, you have a PC, you have a laptop, you have a tablet, and you have a cell phone. Why? It's all the same thing. They have the same processor, but different size. Why? Because of the screen. In the future, your cell phone, you will scroll out a biggest screen as you want, type on it, fold it up, and put it back in. In fact, we can make yards of this stuff. This is the future of wallpaper. Wallpaper of the future will be intelligent. Let's say today your wallpaper is old, torn, discolored, stained, ugly. That's your wallpaper today. What do? You suffer. That's what you do. In the future, you go to the wall and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, please change color, please change design, please change everything. And let's say it's 4 o'clock in the morning and you feel a pain in your chest. Is it a heart attack? Or maybe it's the pizza you had last night. What are you going to do at 4 o'clock in the morning? In the future, you will go to the wallpaper and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, I want to talk to RoboDoc. Boom! A robot doctor or lawyer or engineer appears in your wallpaper. Speaks perfect Russian, English, whatever language you want. Has infinite knowledge of the internet, gives you sound legal and medical advice. Let's say you're driving your car and you get into a car accident in a small country where you don't speak the language, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You can't speak the language. You don't understand the laws of that country. What are you going to do? In the future, you'll get on your wristwatch and talk to robo-lawyer. Robo-lawyer, robo-engineer, robo-doc are intelligent. They speak whatever language you want. They understand the laws, the medicine, the customs in any place where you may want to visit. So the future will be somewhat like science fiction. In science fiction, like in Star Trek, we have something called a holodeck where you can literally enter a new world right on the spot. And this is your car of the future. The car of the future will drive themselves. Not only that, the car of the future will park itself. So what happens is, you get in your car, you go to work, and then you tell the car, park yourself. The car scans the city for all the empty parking spaces, parks itself. Afterward, you get on your wristwatch and say, pick me up, and the car picks you up. So in the future, you don't really need a car. You can simply rent a car. You simply talk to it, and it comes and picks you up. In fact, your car is going to become a robot. I say that the robotics industry will be bigger than the automobile industry of today. Think of the automobile industry. It's huge, right? Repairmen. We have mechanics. We have people who design cars. A huge industry. The robotics industry will be bigger because your car will become a robot. You will talk to your car. You'll argue with your car. You'll have intelligent conversations with your car. Your car will become part of the seamless future. And cars will fly. I was just in Dubai a few months ago, where already they're in negotiations for a fleet of flying cars. Cars that can fly. They're expensive, but yes, they already exist. And the future of transportation is supersonic transports. You know, I was in New York City yesterday. It took me 10 hours to fly from New York to Moscow. In the future, we'll do that in 2 hours. 1 hour to London, 2 hours to Moscow, because we will have supersonic jet planes. Now, once upon a time, we had the Concorde, the British-French supersonic Concorde. It was a failure. It went bankrupt. What happened to the Concorde? The Concorde went faster than sound, but it created a sonic boom. The sonic boom shattered glass, windows. Nobody wanted the Concorde to sail over their house. So it was a failure. But now we have supercomputers. Supercomputers that can create supersonic airflow. We can now create supersonic jets without the sonic boom. Think about that. Going from here to New York just in an hour or two. And even beyond that, we're going to go into outer space. Prices are dropping for space travel. You know the movie The Martian with Matt Damon? That movie, The Martian, cost $100 million to make. Hollywood spent $100 million making that movie, The Martian. Now, the Indian government sent a probe to Mars for $70 million. So a Hollywood movie about going to Mars costs more than actually going to Mars. That's how cheap space travel has become. And who knows? I believe that once we're in outer space, once we begin to look what's out there, we may even bump into another civilization in outer space. We don't know, but there could be intelligent life in the universe. Now, I'm on radio, and many times people call me on the telephone to be on radio. And they say to me, Professor, you're wrong. You're wrong. The aliens are not there. The aliens are here. Flying saucers have landed. So I ask these people, how do you know that aliens have landed with their flying saucers? And they tell me they know because they've been kidnapped. They've been abducted. They've been taken into their flying saucers. Well, I have a word of advice. The next time you are kidnapped by a flying saucer, for God's sake, steal something. I don't care what you steal. There's no law against stealing from an extraterrestrial civilization. No law again against stealing from an extraterrestrial civilization. And steal anything. An alien pencil, an alien paperweight, anything to prove that you're correct. So I'm building up to something. When we have the internet in our contact lens, when we have the internet in our brain, what does all this mean for our daily life? When we buy things at the supermarket, when we go shopping, I say we're entering something called perfect capitalism. Now, what is capitalism? Capitalism is private ownership where prices are set by supply and demand. That's it. That's called capitalism. But capitalism is imperfect. you don't know what things really cost. You don't know who's cheating you. You don't know what the best bargains are. You don't know what the profit margin is. It's all guesswork. That's where the computer revolution comes in. The computer revolution gives you infinite knowledge of what you're buying. Who's cheating you? How much do things really cost? And capitalism becomes perfect. And what kind of capitalism is it? It is less and less commodity capital and more intellectual capital. England, for example, England derives more revenue from rock and roll than the coal mining industry. Now think about it. When you think of a British coal miner, you think that's the worker, a British coal miner. But rock and roll generates more income than the entire coal industry. This is the future. The future is more perfect. Waste, friction, all the excesses of capitalism gradually being eliminated.